Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome to the Season of Discovery. In this video, I'll show you how to craft the epic void-touched items. First of all, you need to have either leatherworking, tailoring, or blacksmithing with a skill of at least 100. We also need a new elixir called Elixir of Coalesced Regret from an alchemist. If you're also an alchemist or have another character with alchemy, you can buy the recipe for this from the goblins Kzixx in Duskwood and Zixil in Hillsbrad Foothills. However, it is only available in limited amounts and will therefore be often sold out. Alternatively, you can also buy the recipe and/or elixir from the auction house, but the prices are currently very high. Once you have obtained an elixir, we will now head to Ashenvale in the direction of Zoram Strand. There, we will find a dead Twilight Cultist at the coordinates 17.26. If you interact with the cultist, he will give you a hint that he might have more to tell if he could. This is where our elixir comes into play. It gives us a 2-hour buff called Speak with Dead, which allows us to have a longer dialogue with a dead cultist. To summarize, he tells us that we should visit Old Serrakis, a boss in the original Black Fathom Deeps. So, our next step is in a new Black Fathom Deeps raid. If you can't or don't want to do the raid, it is sufficient to get an ID in which the first 2 bosses were defeated. You will find the raid entrance a little way to the north of the dead cultist. You will have to dive into the ruins basin and then run through some winding tunnels, but there are many elite enemies here, so you should do this in a group if you can't sneak. Although this is now a raid, you can also run into the instance without the raid group. In the place where the turtle boss Ghamoo-ra used to be, there now lies the carcass of Old Serrakis. If you click on it, we get a short dialogue and thus the handful of shifting scales we need for the next step. This leads us to Ratchet, but first we need some enchanting materials. We need 40 strange dust, 5 greater magic essence, and 2 small glimmering shards. And you will also need 5 gold for the upcoming quest. You can either get these yourself via disenchanting or buy them from the auction house. Then we go to Ratchet and visit the inn there. It is located in the southwestern part of the town on the hill. Once there, talk to the new NPC Nora Anyheart and show her the shifting scales of Serrakis. She then gives us a turn-in quest for the enchanting materials and 5 gold for a trinket with 5 spirit and a protective aura against the crushing darkness in the Lair of Serrakis. With this trinket in our backpack, we now return to the Black Fathom Deeps again. Here we now venture forth to the old Lair of Serrakis. If you try to enter the lair without the trinket equipped, you will receive a debuff called Crushing Darkness that deals a lot of damage to you, and your screen will blur to the point where you can't see anything at all. With our new trinket equipped, however, we are protected against this and can dive down into Old Serrakis Lair. There we will find a so-called Artisans Chest at the bottom. If you click the chest, we will receive the box. The Artisans Chest can be looted multiple times, but you can only have a single box at once in your inventory. If we attempt to open the box, however, we can't, and it says we need a powerful source of the light to do so. So our next step will be to find this source of light. Therefore, we venture forth into the Hillsbrad Foothills. As an Alliance player, you can find a new NPC called Ardelle Dralta in the South Shore Inn, a mage from the Argent Dawn which investigates an enormous stone of light which is supposed to be in the mountains of Alterac to the northeast of Terran Mill, which is exactly what we were looking for. The stone is located behind the Ravenholdt Manor, which is part of some rogue quests and the insane achievement later on. The entrance to Ravenholdt begins at the coordinates 75.24 through a winding pathway into the hills above. We now have to follow this path through a cave until we reach the Manors Entrance And from there we head to the south until we reach another mountain path. We follow this path until we reach the glowing stone. Standing next to the stone, we can try to open our box again, from which we will gain a shard of the void. Also, a shadowy figure will spawn in the proximity. If we talk to her, she will teach us the epic crafting recipes after a little bit of dialogue. Now you can craft the epic versions of your item. And that's it for the crafting. Thank you for watching and have fun exploring. See you next time.